G'day there, Ray Corcoran here. In this week's video, I want to talk about this stupid TikTok trend of quiet quitting and why I think it's actually really dangerous for your career and why I don't think your employer is exploiting you as much as you think. So a few weeks ago, there was a big trend on TikTok. I don't go on there, I swear. But basically what was happening was people were kind of saying that I don't want to make any more effort at work anymore and I want to quiet quit, whereas you basically don't tell your boss that you're quitting, but you no longer go above and beyond in your role. Now, I sort of do understand the plight of these people, because on one hand, a lot of people, myself included, have been done way more hours than they've ever been paid for in their career. And sometimes it kind of gets to the point where it's like the company keeps wanting more and more, and they want your firstborn, and they want your blood and your weekends and everything. They want to take everything from you until you're like a shriveled corpse. But there's been a lot of argument online about is that the right approach? Are you kind of sabotaging your own career? And I kind of wanted to unpack that in this video because I thought it was an interesting topic, and it was kind of a bit strange, I thought, that people were doing this. But the more that you look into it, it is I can sort of understand that people are a bit fed up with their job. And some employers, do genuinely take advantage of their workers, and obviously that's not cool. And hopefully people can, identify that and spot that, because not all employers are like that. And I think, I have kids, and I think anyone with kids, especially, it applies to everyone, but people with kids especially can kind of appreciate how valuable that time at home is. And if you're always staying back and not getting paid, maybe with the faint promise of a promotion down the track, it can be hard because you're kind of not even getting paid for it, and you may not ever get the promotion, but you're definitely going to miss out on time with your kids or time with your partner or family or whatever it is. So there is a bit of a balance for sure. I don't think it's all one way or all the other. And basically what's happening is people are just saying, I'm not going to do more than my strict 9 to 5 or whatever I'm contracted to do. And I'm going to do that and literally nothing else. And I'm not even going to try to get promotions or move up within the company or do anything extra. I'm going to do what you pay me for, and that is it. So the reason it kind of rubbed me up the wrong way, or the reason I kind of felt bad, I actually felt bad for these people that are quiet quitting, because on one hand, like I said, I understand sort of how they can feel, because I've felt that way before, but I've never really felt that I was going to sabotage my own career or try less hard to get back at my boss. I kind of feel like you're cutting off your nose to spite your face. And if either you or someone is considering quiet quitting, maybe you hate your job now or you're not loving it, I would really reconsider doing that or getting caught in this trend, which is a bit of a, I think it's a bit of a loser trend, to be honest. And I'll kind of explain why. So for me personally, I've had bosses that I've really liked and bosses that I haven't liked. And while I have worked, I've enjoyed working with the good bosses much more, I've always tried to have a high standard of work regardless of who I'm working for. And the reason, even if I had some bosses that were total jerks, and I still worked hard for them, and it wasn't because of them. And I think an important point, if you are someone that maybe hates your job, is you don't do a good job for them. If you don't like them, fine, but do a good job for yourself and do a good job for your own personal standards, because you just never know in your career who you're going to bump into again. So if you just start taking your foot off the gas in your main job because you're sick of your boss taking advantage, you may actually be taking yourself away from good opportunities down the track. Maybe your coworker starts a business one day, or maybe your coworker becomes very senior in a different company. People stay in the same industry, and they might move. Naturally, people that are young in a company eventually become the old senior people in a company, typically. So you want to kind of build up a reputation for yourself so that you do get phone calls down the line from former co-workers, maybe former bosses if you like them, so that they can contact you and try and poach you for their company or poach you for their team. And if you are someone that absolutely has to do a strict 9 to 5, or like you really don't want to physically stay back late, then I would simply encourage you to not take your foot off the gas, but become ruthlessly productive with your 9 to 5. Some of these people are talking about kind of coasting, and I think that's really, really dangerous, because say if you ever, you might choose to start your own business one day. If you get too much in the habit of being not trying that hard, and maybe everyone on TikTok thinks it's a cool idea to just kick back and who cares, I actually think that's a real toxic sort of environment to be around, because it's like an underachiever attitude almost. And whether you don't want to be a big achiever for the man, or you don't want to make a big corporate rich, you shouldn't try and, undermine your own career or your own work ethic because of that. So I would more encourage that you try to find a new company to work for, or B, keep working hard, but understand that mentally, you're doing it for you, not for the boss. And the boss might get some praise because you do a good job, but I wouldn't feel bitter about that. I would just know internally that I'm doing a good job and I'm going to be the best that I can be. And long term, I won't be with this company, but I'm going to develop skills that I will selfishly use in the future. So if you see this quiet quitting stuff and maybe you think it sounds like a fun idea, or like, that'll really show them, don't, obviously if your job's toxic or not healthy for you, then maybe look at another one. It's one of the best times to find a new job. I don't know, since I've been alive, to be honest. There's all my clients are desperately looking for good staff. So if you have, half a brain and you've got some sort of talent, you're probably in demand. And this is across almost every industry that I've seen. So it's never been a better time than ever to move to a better company for yourself. And I think that's a much better option than quiet quitting. Thought I'd just share my thoughts on that. Do you agree? Do you disagree? If you disagree, I'd love to know why or what you think. Do you think companies are taking advantage of people? Do you think people should quiet quit? Or do you think that they're sabotaging their own career just to try and piss off their boss? And let me know what your thoughts are in the comments, and I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.